Happy Friday, everyone. Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, happy Friday. First slide is one that's been consistent that I've been sharing is our applications. You'll see apps went down this week, still trending ahead compared to last year, but it took a little bit of a dip. We had a total of 56 for the past week compared to 38 a year ago. Picked up a few in the high school senior graduate population this past week. I'm working with Joe on getting some communication out to a group of students that we're aware of to continue to push that group to make the next step. We go to head count, changed it up a little bit. I took out summer and just strictly looking at fall, and my next slide has a little bit of year-to-year comparison, but this is numbers as of last night for fall 2021. Head count numbers were at 1249, and you'll see the breakdown between continuing, returning, transfer, and FIDIAC. There's our fall 2020 number is the 2312, but if we move to my next slide, this just has some trendline comparisons on the typical year-to-year comparison. So I did do the head count trendline graph of a chart that we're keeping track of for year-to-year. Blue is 2020. The nice light blue color is where we're at for 2021. And the white is 2019, so we're staying fairly in line with 2019 and ahead of where we were a year ago for 2020, which I showed down here. I actually had the same day on the 25th that we had from last year. So if you look at May 25th last year compared to May 25th of this year, head count, credit hour, billable, up over 50% on each of those compared to a year ago at this time. As I showed on the last slide, we're at 1249 as of yesterday, but I thought that was a good one where it was only a couple days ago to show what a year-to-year comparison would be where we're trending up compared to last year in all three categories. So that's all I have for this morning.
Very good. I like this graph. Thank you. And we'll talk about that offline after we're done as well. Good job, Brian.
Thank you.
Joe.
All right. So my wildly important goal for my department is, again, in the beginning, it was originally to create awareness of the Michigan Reconnect program for the target audience and increase web traffic on the page by 350% by June 1. And we set that back on February 15th. About 3 weeks ago, we announced that we'd exceeded that goal. We originally wanted 4,809 page views, and we exceeded that by the week of May 3rd. So then we changed our goal and said, okay, so if we could exceed that and do that well, let's try to bring that to 10,000 page views by the time classes start. And in order to do that, we have a lead indicator of 350 unique page views per week that we need to accomplish. And if we do that, we would really smash this goal and have a 628% increase in the original page views that we had back in February. So here's an update on where we are with that new goal. As of yesterday at about maybe noon or so, we had 6,330 unique page views on the Reconnect page. And we garnered in the previous week, 431 unique page views, which means we're outpacing that 350 by a good margin, which is good, by 80 page views. So we've set a goal that I think we can achieve. It's going to continue to take some work and effort, but here's how we've been doing it lately. We've got our campaign up and running. It's a programmatic digital advertising campaign. I've been seeing the ads myself on occasion, where the ads appear on places like Yahoo when you go to check your mail. They appear on Monroe News and Bedford Now, but that's a separate campaign. The ones that appear when you go to certain websites are based on your demographics. and they pop up on your computer or your smartphone as you go to any number of different websites, thousands of them. We've also got billboards located now throughout the county that went up at the beginning of the month. They are up and down on. There's one on Telegraph and one on Dixie as you head out of town. There's one in Carlton, and there's a number down in South County as well. We have been having weekly meetings with my staff on our goal, so that we can come up with other ideas and grassroots things to do besides our campaign, which we set up a number of months ago. So what's to come in early July and through August, so when classes start, we're going to continue with the campaign that I just described. We've also got some signage out there that we've put up organically in front of the fair, as well as in front of our campuses. We are going to bring back Pandora radio commercials after July 1 when I have new budget dollars, which hit people in Monroe County when they're listening if they're in the demographic listening to the radio station of the Pandora on the web. And then we're also going to start to do a number of those countywide email blasts, which really help generate traffic for this back in March and April, which will go to anyone in Monroe County that fits the demographic that we can purchase an email list for. And then we'll continue to do audience-specific email blasts. In fact, I've just got some downloads from Valerie on students that are eligible but have not yet applied to the college, so they're eligible for Reconnect. We know that. We're going to try to get those converted through some email blasts. We're going to dedicate our Monroe County Fair booth. It's back. It's going to be back. It's going to be in person. To have, and there's also a parade that goes along with that. So we'll have a heavy Reconnect focus at the Monroe County Fair. We're there all week, and we've got about 12 to 14 hours a day to be recruiting students and talking about the college. We're considering a unique Reconnect premium item giveaway at the fair. I don't know what that is yet, but we're going to start concepting that. And then additional signage opportunities. I've got Tom Ryder working to investigate maybe some of the local ball fields where there's a lot of heavy traffic and games throughout Monroe County. Getting some additional signage as you enter those. Maybe we can get that free of charge. So, and then lastly, you can just see the chart of where we were when they launched the program back in February. We had some really big email activity here in March, and then we between mid-March to around May, before our major campaign restarted again, we've had some good traffic, 50 to 75 hits to 100 hits a day, and then we spiked with a major email blast, and then we've continued now that our campaign is up and running to be between 100, 125, roughly. These are weekend valleys where people aren't really going to the site as much, but we're staying around 100 to 75 to 100 hits a day on page views. And that's it.
Great job. Wouldn't it be fun to overlay this with the enrollment application graph? I'm not saying to do it, but I'm starting to see a little bit of a correlation there.
Sure. Yeah.
Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're all like, oh my goodness, he's mixing up the order a little bit here.
That's all right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So our WIG is to increase graduation and retention rates. And one of the ways we are doing that is by tracking student course enrollment. And if they are not enrolled in courses that are part of their pathway or program of study, we are reaching out to them on a weekly basis. As of this morning, we've reached out to 55 students so far. We've had very positive responses. So we're getting students in the right programs and getting them on the right track to graduate as quickly and cost effective as possible. In addition to that outreach, we're also working on a couple of different strategic tactics regarding transferability of courses and articulation agreements. So there's a lot of work being done there that will continue throughout the summer. And then the next slide is where we're tracking FDIAC retention rates. We have exceeded our goal of increasing that number by 2%. Right now we have 47% of fall 20 FDIACs enrolled for fall 21. That was as of this morning. We will continue regular outreach via phone calls, emails, texts to this group of students, so hopefully we'll far exceed our goal. And that's what I have so far.
So I'm reading this right to say that you have already exceeded last year in terms of retention rates.
We have.
All right, good job. Let's keep up the good work. All right,
Thank you.
all right.
Okay, so we are looking at our FAFSA completion rates for 2021-22 versus the 2021 year, and we are continuing to trend up on our FAFSAs. So it came to my attention now that I have a minute to breathe after we've gotten summer underway, that I was curious about the number of students who have completed their 21-22 FAFSA who have actually enrolled for fall so far. And when I ran the report, only 533 students have registered for fall. So we have over 2,000 FAFSAs for unduplicated records, but only 533 of those students have enrolled. So we need to start digging into that data and find out who these students are. Are the people who have filed and not enrolled, are they continuing students? Are they FIDIACs? Are they stop-outs? Once I can sort that data out, that is going to give us the information we need to really tailor our outreach efforts to convert those FAFSAs into enrollment. Our reconnect numbers, they're ticking up just a little bit now. So I met with Ryan and Joe, and I talked to Tracy yesterday about the numbers. And Ryan and Joe, we are coordinating an email campaign to reach out to this group of students who have applied for Reconnect and have not yet applied for admission at MCCC. As I was going through the comparison reports from week to week, I noticed that the names on the report from one week to the next, they're not moving into a different category. So it's not like we have people on the report who need to apply for admission, and the following week they move into a different category where I say, okay, now they've applied for admission, they need to do a FAFSA. They're just sticking in that group of we need to apply for admission. So we're going to start with that email campaign, and then Ryan is coordinating the outreach, the phone call efforts to follow up with his student success coaches. In terms of Reconnect enrollment, I also broke down to take a look at the number of students who have passed both eligibility criteria for Reconnect. So this would be students who met the criteria at the state level, and now they've done everything that they need to do at the school level as well. And so we have 42% of our Reconnect eligible students who have registered for the fall. 58%, they're ready, they're packaged, they have the Reconnect funding awarded or other gift aid in full, but they haven't registered yet. So we're also going to be getting a calling campaign to engage these students as well.
Fantastic. Good work. Can you go back to the last slide 2, Dr. Fuller?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, because this is exactly why we do this, right? So let's talk in our next session offline about a campaign to go directly after these students. Yep, this is exactly why we do it. Great work. Thank you.